Are you there, Scott?
I'm here.
Okay, we're going to make a little bit of smoke before we go.
We're making smoke.
Smoke accomplishes a couple of things. First of all, it makes the bees suspect that there might be a forest fire. Because in nature, bees would live in trees or under the ground. So if they sense smoke, or if they smell smoke, they think, uh-oh, this could be a forest fire. We might have to move. So they start filling their bellies with honey in case they have to relocate and move out. They grab a lot of honey. And if they're full of honey, they can't sting us because of the way they're designed. So it makes them less able to sting. And second of all, the way that bees communicate with one another is through something called pheromones. And if we put smoke in there, it kind of overwhelms the pheromones, so they can't say to one another, hey, go and attack that guy Scott, go and sting him, because the smoke covers that up. And so it's another good reason to use a little bit of smoke. And it doesn't hurt them. I'm going to make something that's called very cool smoke by putting a lot of pine needles in, so it's not hot. We don't want to fry the pollen.
I see.
We just want to put some smoke in it. So we want a nice puffy, white, cool smoke.
And is that a special bee
Bee
smoking? Is this apparatus?
Oh, it's designed just for the bees. Yep. I don't suggest you try and put anything else in there and smoke it. If you know what I'm saying.
Well, we are in California.
We are in California. We're totally legal. But, yes, there you go.
Actually, it smells like camping.
Yes, in a good way, right?
Oh yeah, it's great.
All right, so I want to, if we can, I just want you to expose your wrist for me, because you're going to
expose my wrist.
I'm going to blow some smoke on you. Not this yet.
Okay.
You can blow some smoke on your wrist and tell me if we have a nice cool smoke.
Oh, I see.
There we go. Is that hot or is that
No,
cool?
it's not hot at all.
Isn't that incredible?
Wow,
so
look at that.
It won't burn the pollen bees. We don't want any bees. All
That's
right.
cool.
Everybody's going to see some bees.
I think I'm ready.
Let's do it.
You guys ready?
Is everybody ready? Okay.
Let's suit up. We're suited up.
We are suited up.
The hoods
This is a very
are zipped.
important part. You gotta have the bee bucket with you.
Gotta have the bee bucket.
Every beekeeper's got one. Here we go.
Okay. Check out the hive area. Here's the hive area. I'm gonna switch over to front.
Right here. We start just in a little bit of smoke just to say to them, you know, there might be a slope in there. So let's just... And these are two hives that were rescued. These are wild or feral bees that were out there that they probably could have been fine on their own, but the trouble is that some people, through just not knowing what bees are, if they see them out in the neighborhood, they say, oh, they're wasps, and then we got to get rid of them, and they call the exterminator and kill them. Well, we're trying to save the bees. So if I hear about that, I come and get them, put them into one of these hives where I can find a home for them. So these are what I call my foster hives.
Foster hives.
These are my main hives over here. That's S for Sarita on the right. We don't have a name for this one on the left, but those are my hives that stay here
Wow.
for the time. And these are hives. This one came down from Topanga. You know, there was some fires recently.
Yes.
And everybody in Topanga was evacuated. So
Wow.
my friend Sergio loaded these up Friday night and brought them down here because you need these at night. So they are down here just to keep them safe during the fires,
Yes.
and they will go back.
Lots of people probably haven't even ever considered bee rescue.
And that's me. So, hey, here's the thing. So how did I hear about this? Well, you
Yeah.
know in the Batman comics, they shine a big Batman up in the sky.
Yes.
And he knows that there's something needs to be done.
Yes.
Well, I have a big bee floodlight that shines up in the sky, and then I know the bee rescue man has got to jump into action. So I saw that a bee up in the sky. I said, all right, we got to rescue some bees. So these are from 2 blocks away on a street called Glendon. They were
Wow.
underneath a manhole cover, and I saw the bee thing shining up in the sky, so I went to see
Wait,
what
there
it
really was a bee thing shining up in the sky?
Scott, I'm just kidding about that.
Oh, you.
I'm afraid 50% of what I say is just kidding. So that is not actually
Oh, I thought
true.
you were kidding, but then
Yes, I know. I said it so.
it was so
I said it so
convincing.
convincing. This is called a hive tool. Every beekeeper's got a hive tool. No, there really isn't. But you know, these days instead of the bat signal, we have something called a cell phone. So I got a
Even better. And
I
you,
got a text.
yeah, you keep it on your utility belt.
Yes, I keep it. So
All right.
because of the rain, you see there's a little bit of water, but not much water got in there. But we
Hey,
try and
guys.
keep them
Hello, bees.
safe from the rain. So this is the colony that I rescued from a couple of blocks away, and they've been in here. I made this box. It's a 7 frame. Traditionally, boxes are 10 frames, but this is a little intermediate box. so
Does
that
it
we
matter
can
what the
grow.
wood is?
You know, it doesn't. This is all plywood. This is all. I'm totally into reusing and recycling. So this is all lumber that I've rescued from building sites around the neighborhood. And as long as it's had some time to air out, you know, all the bad stuff has gone away.
We're in the neighborhood.
So this is stuff that I'm proud to say I have saved from going into the landfill. This would have been just gone into the trash heap,
And
and now it's a home for some bees.
so I guess I see some K's and some X's.
Yeah, now that's a little thing I do, because once you get the frames out like we're going to, this is a. So there they are.
Wow.
They're starting to fill this.
So what are they doing?
All right.
What's going on here?
So this is a piece of comb that I cut out from underneath the manhole cover where they were,
Honeycomb, the real thing.
and I attached it. And they're just cleaning it out and getting it ready.
So this.
Those are worker bees.
So
Those are
this
all
this
females.
was at the original hive site.
This piece of comb was.
Okay.
And I cut it out. And that's another thing we could film another time because it's quite a complicated
Can you
process.
start a hive or transport a hive without a piece of honeycomb?
You can, as long as you give them something to build on. But the reason, yes, you can. I could have just, these could have been empty frames, and I could have just thrown the bees. You do that with a swarm. A
Yes.
swarm is different than a colony, and basically
Okay.
a swarm you just shake in there. They've got no honeycomb, but they'll start making some.
And the purpose of the honeycomb.
That's where the bees live. They live and lay their eggs and store their honey.
But what do you mean live? Like, do they
Well-
crawl in those little holes and
No, but here,
they just live on top of it?
how do I say? All these cells here
Yes.
are made by the bees, and they are multi-purpose. They can put, this is honey at the top. Generally, they put the honey at the top where I'm pointing. That
Okay.
is honey that they use for food. Down here are where the queen has laid her eggs, and those are baby bees developing there. I don't know if you can see that little white one right where I'm pointing. There's a little white something there.
Yes.
That is a larva. So, and that is what we call a queen cell that I'm pointing at right there, where they
Let's see.
may, you see this little peanut-shaped piece?
Yes. Yes.
That is what's called a queen cell, where they may have been trying to make a new queen. But you know, there's so much to learn
Yes.
about bees. I think we should keep it simple right
Sure.
now.
Let's keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Let's just look for the queen if we can, because it's
Okay.
a small hive. Anyway, when you lift the frames out, you'd ask me why these letters here.
Yes.
You turn them around and all of a sudden you can forget which way did it go in. So I mark all my frames with a letter here. That way I know to put them back the same way. Because we are in their home. It would be like going into your home, Scott, and suddenly I moved the bathroom to where the bedroom is.
Uh-oh.
And you'd be all confused when you went home. So I don't want to do that with the bees. I want to put it back exactly the way I found it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. Feel free to ask questions.
I'll try to ask questions that I feel like people would ask.
Here's another queen cell, which makes me think they might be trying to make another queen. It's different. It's like a
How do
little
you-
peanut. Now, here's a
Can I
perfect
ask
example.
how you make a queen?
I will tell you that in a second, but let me show you. Do you see where I'm pointing?
Yep.
The little white places
Yep.
there? Those are larvae,
Babies.
little baby bees. So
Hi,
the
guys.
life cycle of a baby bee is 3 days as an egg,
Oh,
6 days as one of those little larvae,
yeah.
and then 11 days as this capped brood. That is a larva that has now been capped, and it's developing into a little baby bee.
Wow.
We might get lucky and see a little baby bee hatching.
Which is basically the same thing that is happening to a butterfly in its cocoon.
Yes, there you go. And there are more larvae down there. I see larva. The white is larva. After 9 days, so 3, 6, and 11.
What are these two bees? They're like messing with each other's faces.
Where is that?
They were like kissing or tickling each other's.
Yeah,
right
I don't
faces.
know, but just saying hi. Just acting for the camera. So see how nice and calm they are? So luckily I see this X here. I say, okay, this goes back in this way. So, if the bees can only make a queen within that first 3-day window and turn an egg and decide that they are going to feed that egg, which is an egg only for 3 days before it becomes a larva.
Yes.
They can feed it royal jelly and turn it into a queen.
What?
And then they will build a special cell.
You know that the next logical question is, what is royal jelly?
You know, yeah.
But
that's
it's some kind of
food.
honey that has hormones.
So we had a little accident here. This piece has fallen, so I'm glad we checked this out. It's not a big deal. No, it's not a big deal. I'm just going to take this and remove it. I don't want you, because you don't have your gloves on.
Yeah, it's okay.
So let's just remove this. Because I had used rubber bands to attach. This had come out of the original. So I don't see any. There's no brood in this. So we're not stealing any baby bees.
Okay.
We are just taking away some nectar.
A little bit of real estate.
A little real estate, but they will very quickly make more of that.
Wow.
So royal jelly is something that they feed a cell that they want to.
And any bee egg could turn into a queen?
There is the queen, by the way. She's right there. Maybe you can see her. She's right underneath my. She's a little bit longer.
Oh yeah, I can see.
There she
Let's
is.
see. Oh,
right
there
I'm
she
just
is.
pointing to her.
Right
there
in the
is.
center. Yeah. Wow. She's got a pointy, elongated.
So
there
there she goes, right across the top there.
Yeah.
Can you see her?
I see her. She's right in the center of the frame. Yep. Yeah. She's
so we have a queen. So her body, her abdomen extends well past her wings. That's how you can spot.
I feel like I should bow.
Yeah. Hello, Her Majesty.
Yes.
So she's been busy laying down here. There she goes. Do you see her?
Yes.
Right there?
Yep.
Oh yeah, good shot. That's a nice shot.
Yeah. This is
So it's always fun to see the queen. All right, Her Majesty, we'll put you back. She's
we'll
up
stay
on top
calm. We'll carry on.
Oh, look at you. That's good. So we know she's in there. It's always fun. And you can see the difference perhaps in colour also, Scott. Might be interesting.
Yeah.
This is the original comb that I took out from where they were, and this brand new bright yellow is new comb that
And
they
that's
have
just
built.
regular beeswax?
It is made of beeswax.
So if you were to get beeswax, whatever, in the store,
yes,
it's just that.
It's
some
melted down
and I guess
that,
refined.
Yep, it's a byproduct of beekeeping. When you harvest the honey, and we can talk about that maybe another time, there will be some beeswax left over. And they make it. It's not a hardship for them, really, to take some away. I don't like to take it all away, but
Yes.
that's what they do. Bees make beeswax. Bees collect honey, or make honey. Alright, here's a little piece. I think this is where that other piece fell. So they will fill this frame out.
Wow. How long would you say it takes them to...
Oh, it's going to take them the best part of a year to fill this out.
And because of the way it's laid out, they just keep going in the same direction. They wouldn't like go out widthwise. They would just keep going within the frame.
Tend to start in the middle and build this way and this way, starting from the middle out. Because they like to insulate. They use honey, actually. Not only is honey used for food, but it's also to keep them warm. So, all right, we're almost done here.
I guess that makes sense because it's got a thermal mass and it's their walls. And
so they've done a nice job of...
Man, they're like little...
So I had put this original piece from the hive and this, and they've connected the two with brand new comb.
And it's just like perfect.
Yeah, as I like to say, they've been doing it for millennia. They've got it figured out, but they've seamlessly attached that, haven't they? And there's some baby bees over there.
So I guess now these are foster bees. So what's the plan? I mean, and can you ever end up with too many bees? because I sometimes end up with too many foster guinea pigs.
Yes.
That's for sure.
So,
And they got to get to the rescue.
I want to show you this one last frame if I can.
Okay, yeah.
Because bees, as we said, need honey for food. So this is a different. If you notice, this is a slightly shallower frame.
Whoa.
This is a frame of honey that I borrowed either from Sarita over there or my other hive.
Okay.
Because these girls have got to eat.
So you're saying when they first came in, they
Yes.
didn't have really
They
any
didn't
honey.
have any food, so I've given them this,
And-
sort of loaned them this, and they use
And what's
this
it
as
like
their
on the
food
other
source.
side? Same. There's bee. So
That is what's
all
called
that.
capped honey. This is what we would normally harvest.
So they put like a wax coating over
It's
top.
actually-
I shouldn't touch it, right?
You can, yeah, you
But-
can touch it.
So it's wax over top, and there's honey
Correct.
sealed inside there.
Sealed inside.
Man.
Now, here's an interesting thing. Honey that's sealed like this, it does have a limited shelf life. You don't need to refrigerate it, but it does have a limited shelf life. So when you get honey like this, you should keep in mind it's probably only good for about 2,000 to 3,000 years.
Okay.
They are finding honey like this in the pyramids, totally untouched and undamaged,
Wow.
and still good after 3,000 years.
Except for the curse, I'm sure it's
Yes.
perfectly fine
So,
to eat.
they have figured out a way to keep this
That's
forever.
incredible.
But I just give this to the bees to encourage them to stick around, so they got plenty of food,
Oh.
and then they can focus on the other jobs. They don't have to worry about storing food. They just need to worry about keeping the queen healthy and building comb. All right. So
How
this is
long
the-
does the queen live? If you say that
All right.
the other ones
average-
live,
Just to remind your friends and our viewers,
yeah, this is going to
all
be,
the worker bees that we see today are females.
yeah.
The hive is made up of 95+% girls and maybe 5 boys. I haven't seen any drones here today.
So
So
any bees that you see flying around at the
every
flowers,
single bee you will ever see flying is a female. So the drones or
treat those
males
ladies
don't
with
do any of
respect.
that. So these live about 30 days. They have a very short lifespan. But the queen lives about 3 to 5 years. So that queen that we just saw, I hope we will see.
Is it
her
that
for-
special honey jelly that's
You know,
giving her the longevity? What, 3 to 5 years? That seems.
It's a long time for an insect. Well, keep in mind, she never leaves.
Okay.
She does, well, I say never, I'm sorry, let me correct that.
Well.
She makes one maiden flight to go and mate with some drones, and that's the only time she will ever leave the hive in her 3 to 5 year life, until, or unless, let me shake these ones. Unless the hive decides that she is getting old and slowing down, and then they will pick her out with some bees and they will make a new queen. Now we saw some queen cells, but I don't think that's what's happening here. They might just be practicing their queen cells, because we know she's a new queen because I saw the queen cell where she developed.
Wow.
So she should stick around for a while. And you had asked me what I do so I don't get overwhelmed.
Oh, watch out! There's one bee right.
Oh,
He was right there.
She.
Sorry.
She.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
she was
cool.
right.
There you go.
there.
We use gravity. Thank you, Scott.
Okay.
She
yeah,
says
she was
thank
getting
you.
dragged along.
We
a
do,
little bit.
yeah, but we do this and then boom, we don't squish any. We try
Yes.
not to squish any bees.
That's
Certainly
the name
don't
of the
wanna
game.
squish a queen, but- all right, so you've asked me, how do I not become
Overrun.
the crazy hoarder guy with too many hives? I look for people who have lost bees for whatever reason. I don't want to give bees to people who haven't had a little bit of experience, but
See.
there are lots of people now who know that bees are good and want to become beekeepers.
Especially in this neighborhood, I bet.
Yeah, so as long as they have space and they know what they're doing.
Yeah, the
I will find
Venice
out.
and Santa Monica
it's
area is
legal
probably,
in both those places.
and it's probably perfect because you just have all these flowers everywhere.
There's always something here. Okay, so we've checked Linden. We call her the Queen of Linden. She's fine. Let's check this Topanga hive.
Awesome.
I don't know what's going on. It's going to be a little bit interesting. This will be a surprise for both of us.
Man, so when you're thinking about animal rescue, don't forget the insect world.
Insects, yeah.
Wow.
It's really, I was very worried that the bees in Topanga